everybody, and welcome to the Clean Bold podcast for this big match preview of the Men's T20 World Cup final. That's right, only down to two teams. We've made it all the way. It's been 1 month of exhilarating cricket, but it's come down to two teams in the final this Sunday in Ahmedabad between India, the defending champions, and the hosts against New Zealand, and what is set to be a mouth-watering contest to bring this to a conclusion. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, guys, give it a share, and also hit that subscribe button as well. I'm joined once again by Santhosh. Santhosh, thank you very much for joining me. Santhosh and I are going to be hosting a live watch-along on Sunday during the final. We will be on at 12:45 UK time. I don't know what that is in Indian time, Machi, but
let me check, Machi. Please give me a minute.
Santhosh will tell you what time that is. If anyone from India is watching, then you'll know what time to check it out. But yeah, 12:45 GMT. So we'll be live just before the toss is done with a little preview, chat. We may have some special guests with other podcasts as well. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be great fun. We did a live watch along with the India-South Africa game. That wasn't so much fun, but the whole interaction with people, we had lots of people commenting, watching, getting involved, and that was really fun. We really enjoyed it. So make sure you get involved. We'll be there for the whole game, and also we'll do a post-match video afterwards as well. So make sure you check that out. Don't miss it out. Santhosh, what time can our Indian fans expect us?
It's 6:15 p.m. IST.
So yeah, 6:15 IST or 12:45 GMT. I would go through all the countries in the world. We don't have the time for that. So wherever you are in the world, please do check us out on Sunday for a live watch. So that should be great. But yeah, let's start with the head-to-head record. So historically, India hold the edge in T20 cricket. T20 cricket, not T20 World Cups, T20 World Cricket. So we have India on 16 wins, New Zealand on 11 wins, and interesting, 3 matches have been tied as well. Very recently, there was a bilateral series against New Zealand, which India won 4-1. But look, in the actual big moments in a World Cup, a T20 World Cup, India have never beaten New Zealand. As Santhosh pointed out in our post-match review of the England game, there are so many firsts and records that could be broken in this particular final. India never beaten New Zealand in a T20 World Cup match. India's record, I think, in the last few games, in the last 30 games, I think is something crazy. Like they've won like 30. They've had 2 defeats. They've both come in Ahmedabad where the final is being held, which is great. No team has ever defended the T20 World Cup, and no host has ever won a T20 World Cup. New Zealand have won 2 ICC trophies. Both of them have been against India. So something has to give. That is the thing. Both teams are playing the weight of history and the weight of expectation. So on the back of that, Santhosh, what are your thoughts and feelings for this final? Can India do it? Or is
I
it
think
New
India
Zealand's
can
day?
do it. I think India can do it. So we have been giver for quite some time, and especially during for these ICC events. So I hope the New Zealand team will be on the other side, on the receiver end. So hopefully they'll be giving to us this time. So at least for our sake. So we have given them a test maze and as well as ICC knockout cup. So they'll be doing something in return. I'm just hoping.
Well, actually, I think New Zealand have actually had India's number in recent times. In football, you might call this a bogey team. I think that's a little bit disrespectful to call New Zealand a bogey team, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like they've had a good record against India in recent times. I think the last time India toured New Zealand won the Test series. India are going there later this year, but in the recent Test series in India, New Zealand whitewashed India 3-0. They also won an ODI series very recently. So New Zealand know how to beat India. They know how to beat India in India as well, which doesn't bode well for this game. But yeah, look, we talked about India before, their route to this final. We all kind of know it now. Obviously, we spoke about this before the England game. They had that great game against the West Indies. They had that epic all-time clash against England. So we know India's history to this game, to this final, sorry. But New Zealand, I mean, let's talk about them and their journey to this competition way back when we started this podcast. We previewed this competition. Kieran and I previewed it, and we looked at New Zealand's group, and we sort of said it's a bit of a group of death because they had South Africa and Afghanistan in it. So they came through that. They came into the Super Eights. They got off to a difficult start with the washed out game with Pakistan, and then they beat Sri Lanka pretty comfortably in the end. And then they lost to England in a pretty crazy game. So they've had a very typical New Zealand sort of route. They're just there, and then they kind of they're just very understated. But I guess that's the beauty of New Zealand. They just know how to make it. Yeah, but what have you made of New Zealand so far?
So right from the beginning of the tournament, New Zealand felt like a team which was not on the track, but they're like last bench student who will read in prepare in the last minute and
It's a good
pass
example.
the examination some are the other way. So the luck favors the brave. So they held their nerves properly, and luckily they have crossed the line. So I'm just hoping that they won't cross the line during the finals. I'm just talking as a pure Indian fan, not as a cricket fan at this moment, because I want India to win this World Cup, especially in the stadium, to break all the jinx. So I'm hoping that will happen, but you can't underestimate New Zealand at any point of time. Even the spinners, they work as a team really well, but hopefully we will have a decent outing. But looking into all the stats of Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium, it wasn't a great surface for the spinners. So hopefully, with this wicket and with the match experience that we have got and the experience of the previous World Cup, we can hold the nerves better when compared to New Zealand. So that's what I'm hoping for. But anything can happen in T20 game. So winning the moments is what matters, because it was the foundation was laid by Bumrah in 18th over, and it was Pandya who held his nerves and bowled his 19th over really well, and it was handed over to Shivam Dube to just not to go beyond 30 runs. So
He
it's
nearly
it's it's
did.
what
He
it's what
tried,
it is.
but he tried.
Yeah, he tried at least.
He
So
really tried.
it it is what it is. But as a bowling unit, I think I can give more edge to New Zealand than Indian bowling unit. But as a batting unit, we've got a strong batting unit till eight.
You feel India are limited? We've already spoken about there's a lack of depth. It's sort of five bowlers, five frontline bowlers, and then you know who. So so that is a problem. It is a genuine problem. Indian got away with it, but that the lack of depth was seen in the last two games. Well, throughout the tournament, really, it's been shown that the lack of depth is allowing teams to dominate the bowling at times. In the South Africa game, for example, our front line three, Bumrah, Hardik, and Ashdeep, got South Africa 40 for three in the power play. So you at that point after 6 overs, you have to make more changes. You got to bring on, you have to bring on a Varun Chakravarti. You got to bring on Shivam Dube. You got to bring on these guys. So bringing on the lack of depth is exposed, and that allowed South Africa to get to a big total, which India were no way close to chasing. Against the West Indies, okay, India won that game, but sorry, not even the West Indies, even the Zimbabwe game. Now India scored 250 in that game as well, which Zimbabwe were realistically never going to chase. But Zimbabwe put in much better showing than they probably were ever anybody expected because of India's lack of depth in their bowling, the lack of skill that Shivam Dube has, the lack of skill I think Varun Chakravarti seems to, or his lack of confidence, shall we say, with Varun Chakravarti. He's really, I think there's something's happened in his confidence in the Super 8 stage. He's going for so many runs. So that was exposed against Zimbabwe. Again against West Indies. Okay, India won both those games, but still we've seen that there are bowlers who can be hit. And my God, the lack of depth was nearly exposed again against England. I mean, you scored 253. You should be winning so comfortably. It really should not have got that close. I know Jacob Bethel played the innings of a lifetime, but really, India allowed England to get way too close. And now look, I get this the pitch and those, but it sort of tells me that Varun Chakravarti is something going on in his mind. His confidence is down. Akshay Patel had a good game in the field, but yeah, they've got Mitchell Santner. Yeah, they've got Matt Henry. They've got Rachin Ravindra. But then you've got other guys like Darryl Mitchell. They've got Jimmy Neesham. They've got Glenn Phillips. Um, and of course, they've got Cole McConkey as well, who's kind of just come out of the blue in this competition. So they've got a nice balance to their team in terms of bowlers. We saw that against South Africa, what their bowlers can do in these conditions. So there's a good, healthy balance to their team. And again, they seem to have more. It's not necessarily better bowling options. They have more bowling options than India. But where I think India are definitely stronger is batting. Just in terms of depth. We bat so far down. So yeah, again, it's going to be interesting to see how this battle unfolds. What are the key battles then for you, Santhosh, in this game?
So for me, it's going to be between Finn Allen and Jasprit Bumrah. So they should get Bumrah right from the first over. Shouldn't be handing the ball
On the
to
first over.
Arshdeep. Yeah, because I want him. I want Team India to bowl Bumrah 2 overs up front and 2 overs in the death. Nothing in between, because we have to put on the gates in the initial phase and during the end, finish it off. And then it's going to be Glenn Phillips and Kuldeep Yadav. I don't want Varun Chakravarti to get exposed once again. I want him to be remembered as a champion player, and there's nothing wrong in dropping your frontline spinner if he's not finding his rhythm. So I don't want Team India to go with Varun Chakravarti. But end of the day, we know about Gautam Gambhir. He will do the unthinkable, and they will be going with uh, Varun Chakravarti at the end of the day. And it's going to be between McConkey and Surya Kumar Yadav, because he has been struggling with the spinners of late. And so that's what I'm thinking, in my opinion. And when we come to the end of our batting, it's going to be between Mitchell Santner and who's the other lad? Hardik
Rachin?
Pandya.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Mitchell Santner and Hardik Pandya. Rachin Ravindra, he can be a threat for all the all our batters, because we don't know what will happen. So he's somebody who comes out of nowhere and get 1 or 2 wickets.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of interesting battles. I think with New Zealand, it's not always obvious who the main. You can always pin other teams. You can pinpoint these guys, but with New Zealand, I think they're such an all-round team. There isn't a superstar, in this New Zealand team. And again, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but there's not a one player. And okay, I know Finn Allen had that amazing innings, and probably he might go on to become a superstar. But you just look at this New Zealand team, and that it's all they're all sort of understated guys doing jobs for the team. They play together as a team. That's their greatest strength. So New Zealand's threat comes from all 11 players. Actually, they've uh, they've always been a brilliant fielding team, so they're not going to give an inch in the field. But I back India's batsmen. The way they've been hitting is, they're so good at hitting sixes and fours. The way they were dealing with England's bowlers was almost like ruthless. Actually, it was scary. Um, but yeah, I think it's going to come down to New Zealand have a very explosive opening pair. Tim Seifert as was brilliant as well. In fact, he was the aggressor in that game against South Africa until he got out. People might forget that now, but yeah, he was actually the one hitting most of those runs in the beginning. He laid the platform for Phil Allen to do what he did. So they like to attack in the power play. Yeah, I mean, look, we are blessed. We really are lucky to have Jasprit Bumrah. There's what more can we actually say about him than that hasn't been said already? He really is an absolute god at what he does. We are indebted to him. We were indebted to him against England. Probably will be indebted to him again on Sunday. Yeah, I think India will probably start with him because New Zealand's key batsmen are in the opening two now. You get them two down early or a wicket down early. And India have been good at taking wickets in the power play. I expect that to continue. It's just, can the change of bowlers keep the momentum going? I hate to bring it up, but I feel like they'll want to do what Australia did to India in 2023 on this ground, squeezing the batsmen early. This is what they did to South Africa. It wasn't necessarily going for wickets. It was squeeze them in the field, squeeze them with our balls, and eventually the mistakes will come. And I think India, some of their batsmen are a little bit impatient. I think Ishan Kishan has shown that although he's brilliant, he's in good form. He just kind of still wants to get going from the beginning. And you need to be careful with that kind of mindset. And, India need to be careful because if they don't, if they play into New Zealand's hands, they could find themselves 20, 30, 40 for three quite early. And
Yeah.
then you got to rebuild and then you lose momentum. And then before you know it, you're 160 after 20 and then you're not sure. Of course, that is if they're batting first. Are you thinking then that India are going to make changes in this game? Or if you were the coach, what changes would you make?
So if you remember 2007 T20 World Cup, during the finals, India took a bold move of dropping Shehwag and getting in Yusuf Pathan, and he got a blistering start. So that made a proper he made a proper platform for India's batting. So that could be the key. So there's nothing wrong in dropping Abhishek Sharma, who's not in a good touch. So that will even spoil his confidence. So what if he doesn't score big in the finals? And that can the what if that cost India the finals? So we want to save Abhishek Sharma for the future. So it'll be better if they drop Abhishek and get in Rinku, where we can relay Rinku, and he has got a good record in Ahmedabad. And Kuldeep instead of Varun. So because the soil that we're gonna play, the final game is going to be yellow soil pitch, not the black one or the red one. So it doesn't gonna have enough assistance for the pacers or the spinners. But this guy, who's an experienced campaigner, so we can give him a better chance. So he will be there to prove, and he will prove. So that my confidence is on. I've got huge confidence on Kuldeep, but we can expect the unexpected. So Team India can come up with a couple of trump cards, and they can. I think they'll go all guns blazing. So it'll be better if we can win the toss and choose to field. So so we'll know what was the target that we'll be aiming for. And I think I have to give due credit to you. New Zealand, they don't have superstars, but they play as a unit. So this is a team sport. So all the 11 players are the superstars. So anyone can take up the ownership and can deliver. So they have got the team of superstars. We have got the batting superstars. So hopefully uh, the better team wins. So
In terms of changes, then, are you saying Abhishek Sharma dropping out then for Rinku Singh? One change. Are you making any other changes to the batting lineup?
yeah, just one change with respect to batting lineup. With respect to bowling lineup, it is Kuldeep in for Varun Chakravarti.
It's two big changes. Yeah, look, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, India do have a decision to make there, whether or not they make it. But I think India could consider leaving certainly Varun Chakravarti at the final. Abhishek Sharma has. I think even I told you my dad agrees with you, and he feels Abhishek Sharma should also be dropped. I get why. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't think they will make because you know changing the batting lineup I feel might be riskier than changing a bowling lineup. It's Varun for Kuldeep is almost a like for like, as in two spinners, as one spinner coming in for another. My only concern is Kuldeep has had no game time. Varun Chakravarti, as bad as he's been or expensive he's been, he's at least been playing in some rhythm of the team. So baffled by the fact that they left Shubman Gill out of the squad. I would like to have had him in the squad. I don't really understand why he's not in this lineup. If I was coach, I would have him as captain. Actually, to be honest with you, he has a phenomenal T20 record. It makes sense to unite one player as captain of all three. He's a brilliant opener. He can play this format, and if we had him in the squad, then Abhishek, when he was struggling, we could have put him in the team with Sanju Samson, and then there's a bit. He has that experience as well to play in a more classical anchor innings when we were struggling, for example, in against South Africa. And let's say, for example, Shubman Gill was batting with Sky in that game. Sky, whose form has completely gone out of the window because he's struggling with the burden of the captaincy. If that wasn't the case, we can get the Sky that we used to have, who's just free, playing these insane shots. But we don't have them. Okay, look, it's not even an option, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But yeah, it's very interesting about Varun. I could see that happening because he's been really expensive. He's been really, really expensive. I think sometimes it's like he just had no answer. We joked about it. That was how it felt. He
Yeah,
had no answer. He had nothing in his locker. His look on his face was like somebody, I have no idea what to do. And Bethel just was like smashing him to all parts, and I felt very sorry for him. So I have a stat here for you. Actually, eight of his 11 most expensive T20 international spells have come in the last few months.
wow.
Yeah, so this has happened quite consistently through the World Cup and even in the last few months. India's had a 5-match T20 series against South Africa just before this World Cup, and even against New Zealand. So he's had a very expensive last few months, even if he is still the reigning T20 number one bowler in the world. Where is this game going to be won and lost?
Having a decent start, not a flamboyant start, because we know about the surface. Uh, Having a decent start, not losing more than 2 wickets during the power play, and anchoring the innings till 13th over, say 7.5 to 8 runs in over till 13th over, and getting changing the gears from 13th over to 16th over, post
Hmm.
17, 18, 19, 20, if they go all guns blazing, then there's a huge chance. And in these three six, they should be losing more than 1 wicket from 6th over to 13th over, and from 13th to 17th over, they any team can afford to lose only 2 wickets. Two in the front, one in the middle, one in the second middle, and they can go all guns blazing during the last phase. That is what we should be aiming for in order to be to have a safer total. But any total is not safe with this bowling lineup. But having 220 to 230 uh, will give us a fighting chance. So that is the reason I was under an impression that if India wins the toss, so they will choose to bowl first. So to have a total and to have a proper target running inside ahead and calculate the chase. But yeah, luck favors the brave. So hopefully, if they make the changes and if they choose to bowl, yeah, there's a chance for us to win this World Cup.
So the Indian cricket team has played 10 matches at the Narendra Modi Stadium, winning 7 and losing 3. New Zealand, on the other hand, has played 2 matches at this venue and they've lost both. So India 10 matches, 7 wins and 3 losses. So far, 6 matches have been played at this stadium during this World Cup. The teams that have bat first have won 3 games, and the sides chasing have won 2. One match ended in a tie, as we know. Shows that the venue has produced closely contested encounters during the competition. So, yeah, I mean, what does that really tell us? It just tells us we get a lot of close games there. Like, it's sort of evenly split. Marginally, the team that bats first tends to win. So we've seen that a lot in this tournament. Obviously, India played there against South Africa and got crushed. So yeah, look, I don't think there should be too much panic if India do end up batting first or they're batting second, because we've seen what this batting can do. But again, I think this team has shown that actually it does respond well to pressure. Because we were all a bit worried after that South Africa game, but they responded well in the Zimbabwe game, responded well in the West Indies game with the tough chase, and they were put in against by England on a wicket, on a pitch, and everything that seemed like, oh, we would have all liked to have chased, but they smashed 250 on a good wicket. So I think this Indian team can win no matter what they're doing, batting or bowling first. But yeah, it would be nice to just know what we need to get and get it. Okay, so just before we finish, as always, we'll do some trivia. So I'll ask you some questions. This is just about New Zealand versus India T20 trivia. See how you get on. No problems if you can't get any. Just a bit of fun before we finish. Okay, so which New Zealand bowler took a 5-wicket haul against India in a T20 international? It still remains the best bowling figures in this rivalry. I'll give you a point for the bowler, and then another point if you can guess what his figures were.
But no idea. Can you give me any uh, clue for the bowler?
I don't know how to give you a clue without um, telling you his name. It was about 10 years. It was 10 years ago in India. He's retired now, but he coaches
Is it
for.
was it Nathan McCullum or
No, it was Tim Southey in
uh,
Nagpur in 2016. He got 5 for 18. Um, so who holds the record for the highest individual T20 international score in India versus New Zealand matches?
is it ODI or T20s?
T20, T20. This is all T20.
Okay, that could be Ishan Kishan. I can be wrong as well, but
No, this was Surya Kumar Yadav,
oh,
111 in Mount Manganui in 2022. Obviously, he had a great year in 2022. Which Indian player has scored the most T20 runs against New Zealand?
should be either between Virat or Rohit.
It's Virat. Virat Kohli is, yeah, he's dominated them. Which New Zealand batter has scored the most T20 runs against India?
T20. Is it, no, it shouldn't be. It can't be Guptill. Can't be Guptill, but
It's Colin Munro. I didn't
oh
think that
wow.
either. I was surprised to hear that. And last question. India once beat New Zealand 5-0 in a T20 series. In which year did that happen?
No idea how much, honestly.
2020. I don't even remember that.
Oh
I
wow.
don't remember that at all. But apparently it's happened. Okay, well, that I think is a good place to stop. The talking has now been done, so all we can do is wait for the match to start. Sandosh, one last time, what are your predictions? Who's going to win the T20 World Cup?
So before we end, I just want to add only one point.
Go
So
for it.
before start of this T20 World Cup, everyone had high hopes for Abhishek Sharma and Varun Chakravarti, but they couldn't deliver when it mattered. On the other hand, many didn't expect Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson, but they stepped up and they did. So as usual, the middle order chipped in when needed. But cricket is a funny, cutthroat, and a game full of uncertainty. So we can expect the unexpected, and so this unexpectation can be India team defending the title, breaking the host nation jinx, and winning the final at Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium. So that's my closing point.
Well, yeah, as you said, the unexpected can happen. We've seen that a lot, not just in this top competition, just in the semi-finals alone. I think in both games, nobody would have predicted that's how they were going to go. So that's why New Zealand are dangerous, but yeah, also why I expect we're going to have a great match. And yeah, it's going to be tense, but I also think, yeah, India will come out on top. I think they may have just, been the best team. They've earned their way to the final. Yeah, I think they're finally going to do it. But let's see. Who knows? Maybe Shivam Dubey will be man of the match. Maybe you never know. Well, let's see. Anyway, guys, make sure you give this video a like, a share, and a subscribe as well. Thank you for all your support throughout this competition. We've really, really appreciated it. So stick around with us. We've got some great content coming after the competition ends. But still one more game to go. Sandosh and I will be hosting a live watch along, as we said. So make sure you tune in for that. Hit the little bell button at the bottom so you can be notified when the stream starts. 12:45 UK time, 6:15. Did we say
Yeah,
6:15 Indian
6:15.
Standard Time? So be there, join us, get involved, ask us questions, get involved, enjoy the game, and hopefully at the end of it we see India lifting that trophy. But whatever happens, it's going to be a great day. And if New Zealand win, congratulations to them. It would be nice also to see New Zealand win a white ball competition. So anyway, talking is done. We'll both see you on Sunday for the final. Is it India? Is it New Zealand? Only one place to find out. We'll see you then.